Go slam the door.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you all for being with us today, and I will now call the June 15th meeting of the Sports Authority to order. First, I'd like to thank the Nashville Predators for hosting us this morning, and we look forward to hearing from you later in the meeting. Also, we're also happy to have Councilman Withers with us again this morning. Thank you for being here. First item on the agenda is consideration of the minutes from the May 18th meeting. You should have received those on Friday via SharePoint link. Had an opportunity to review. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or corrections? If not, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. And the motion passes. At this time, Monica will come with our executive director's report.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. You've got the agenda in front of you. We've got a lot to cover, so I'm going to be brief. As we prepare to put out a solicitation for the authority's construction representative, we wanted the board to have an opportunity to hear directly from the procurement office. I think many of you know Metro's purchasing agent, Michelle Lane, who is with us. Thank you for being here. But we also wanted to introduce the assistant purchasing director, and maybe, Michelle, you would like to introduce him. Or I can, either way.
Thank you for that opportunity. This is probably the first opportunity post-pandemic that we've had to really introduce Mr. Gary Clay, serving as our assistant purchasing agent. I'm extraordinarily thankful because he was running double duty quite some time, so I'm really happy to have him here. And he is assigned to the work that you're going to talk about, I suppose, in more detail. But he brings a wealth of knowledge. He's an attorney. He's an engineer. Sometimes I think that's an interesting combination, but it works for us because he brings a wealth of procurement experience that's proven so far to be very valuable to our organization. So, Gary, you want to say anything?
Just good morning, and hopefully you don't hold the attorney and engineering thing against me.
We've got another one in the room, I think, too, Tom Crow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, if you will stay up, what I was hoping, and this is really more of an introduction, not only to Gary, but also to the process that we're getting ready to undertake. And so we had asked if Gary could just briefly outline the process. If you have more questions, you can always reach out to the department. But if you would mind just walking through what we're doing.
Okay, so do you want us to walk through just broadly the procurement process or what our expectations are for this particular solicitation?
I think a little bit of both, because we have a couple of members who were not on the board the last time we went through this process.
We'll kind of tag team this a little bit. You know, we receive requests from departmental end users regularly. We review those, prepare them for issuance and publication for prospective offers, working to ensure that those solicitations include a broad base of information that would be instructive to the formulation of responses by those offers, providing information that will provide a level base of knowledge that would enable those responses. With this particular solicitation, it would run as an RFP. We would solicit responses on a variety of criteria. Gary can talk about any information that he's gotten from the department thus far about what those criteria would be. It would include cost. We would have a recommended evaluation committee. That evaluation committee would review those responses. That evaluation committee does have to be approved by me. And that should include experts, people who have a specific interest and bring a level of expertise that would be beneficial to an efficient review of the received responses. And then there would be a recommendation for award. And that award would be best based on who has been determined to be the best evaluated based on those criteria that I talked about. Do you want to add anything to that?
Only thing I can add is, we've got a pretty detailed scope of work from the department saying, here's what we hope this individual or this firm can do for us. And also, we've done similar things in the past, so we can kind of use that as a starting place. Not that we're going to copy and paste it, but it'll give us an idea of how to, start and then go from there.
And then from that, an intent to award would be issued by the purchasing agent.
Yes, the intent to award would be issued. Of course, any resulting, as with other solicitations that we've worked for this authority, the contract would be subject to your approval. So, the contract is, per the procurement code, the actual culmination of the award itself, which is why the prior activity is an intent to award. So this authority would need to approve that contract in order for it to be a done deal, for lack of a better term.
Correct.
What is we don't have a deadline yet for responses. Correct?
Well,
Is that correct?
I think the common question we get is how long is it going to take? And so what I have been really kind of leaning toward is our key performance indicators. This would be like any other. It's not a software-based, RFP, which tend to take much longer. They have a lot of additional steps. And our key performance indicators are showing us that we're running somewhere around 170 days, 170 to 190.
Is that to complete the entire process?
That's from requisition to a completed contract.
What's the status of the process now? You haven't started. Have you started?
We've started. We received a requisition from the department, and I've reviewed it. And there's some stuff that we're going to kind of, have to add to get clarifications. But it's not been published yet, the solicitation itself. But I hopefully that'll happen in the next maybe 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
And what that means is we would then be publishing it and it'd be on the street, open for bidding.
How long would that be open?
My recommendation for an RFP like this is 3 business weeks at a minimum. So that'd be 21 days.
Okay, thank you.
This is actually my report for today. I just thought it was really important. I thought it was really important just to put a face with a name, to hear from the department, because this is a really important thing that we're about to undertake.
Oh, I will say this, solicitations take a lot of different times. Michelle gave you the average. You really don't care about the average. You just care about this one particular one. But it depends on how many responses we get. Obviously, if you get 15 responses, there's 15 companies you got to evaluate, in the evaluation team. If you get 2, obviously your work's far less. So, it depends on so much. And then once you do a draft contract and you send it to the awardee, how much back and forth you get and how much lag time is their legal out of the office for a week. There's just so many things that could add to or subtract from the length of time it takes to do the solicitation. So it's kind of hard to give you a precise time versus saying it'd be done by, August 30 or October 1st or something,
Now, the format for that is the same for every interested firm.
The format for response?
Yes.
Yes. We use an electronic procurement system.
Same, right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I would just add one thing, that whomever the recommended evaluators are, when they come over, it would be great if we know that those are people who've got specific interests and expertise, but who can also commit to the time. Because that is where we also see the lag in the time, is trying to coordinate, it's like herding cats, trying to coordinate all of the schedules of, often very busy people.
Well, thank you all so much for being here. Gary, it's a pleasure to meet you. And as always, Michelle, we appreciate your guidance and your advice. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We recently completed the Executive Director's annual evaluation on Tuesday, June 13th. The Executive and Personnel Committees met jointly, and during that meeting, the committee members reported high levels of satisfaction with our Executive Director, noting that her performance exceeds our expectations. And I think anyone who's had the opportunity to work with Monica would say the same. So she received raving reviews. The committee recommends
Motion made.
The committee recommends that the director's compensation increase in line with the mayor's fiscal year 24 recommended budget increase of 4% cost of living adjustment and a 3% merit increase. The increase is contingent on the council's approval of the budget. So are there any questions or comments around that? If not, I would entertain a motion to, so move. Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed is nay, and that motion passes. Additionally, during that meeting, the personnel committee consists of the executive board, and we had one additional director there. Director Deering served on that committee. And during the meeting, he requested that the committee explore putting the executive director under contract. Attorney Josh Thomas, our attorney, confirmed that there is a precedence for the board to do this if it so chooses. And so the committee will continue to have conversations with legal and Monica and report back to the full board. Any comments? We also have conducted the annual meeting by the executive committee board, and we looked at section 4.1 of the Sports Authority bylaws, which is addressing the annual meeting. And according to the bylaws, it states that the purpose of the annual meeting is for election of officers, as well as any other business that needs to come before the board. Also in section 5.2 of the bylaws, the annual meeting is said to be held on the fourth Monday in January or at another time prior thereto and following the close of the corporation's fiscal year as determined by the board. The executive committee recommends that the authority moves its annual meeting from January to the third week in July, beginning next month, and that we hold annual officer elections at the July meeting moving forward. And so at this time, I would entertain a motion to move our annual meeting from January, where we elect officers, to July meeting going forward. Is there a motion?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Questions? Discussion?
So when that the officer, what would be the timeline? From last January to this July? It'll be next month?
Yes, it'll be next month and until the next following July.
Okay.
Any other questions? I think for the last few years, one of the things that we discussed was that January has been a month where we had a lot going on, and sometimes we did not have all the appointments that confirmed. So it's been very difficult to have elections in January. So we think by July, it gives us an opportunity to have everyone in their seats and kind of know where we are. So that was the reasoning behind it. So at this time, I think there's a motion, a second. Are we ready for the vote? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed is nay, and the motion passes. Finally, the committee heard from our attorney, Josh Thomas, who discussed a new law on public comment period that takes effect July 1 as well. I'd like to ask Josh to quickly walk us through that update in the law and the implications for our meeting.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. Behind, I believe, tab 3, you should have a copy of the proposed public comment period policy that we've drafted for you. But essentially, there's a new law that the General Assembly passed earlier this year that takes effect on July 1st that basically requires all governing boards to have a public comment period at all of their meetings in which they will be taking action. So going forward, this board is going to be required to have a public comment period reserved on its agenda at every meeting in which you will be taking a vote on a matter that comes before you. So we have drafted a policy for you that applies to the full board that essentially provides that starting July 1st at all your meetings, you will have a public comment period that will be for essentially 20 minutes. It will allow for a maximum of 10 folks to sign up beforehand to let us know that they want to make public comments. They'll have a maximum time of 2 minutes to talk. And then the law does require that when you do have the public comment period, you have to allow opposing viewpoints to be present. And so in the policy, we basically crafted a requirement that when they sign up, and let us know what agenda item they want to be referring to, and also tell us whether or not they're for or against. And that way we can ensure that we have opposing viewpoints present at the meeting if there are folks on the other side who do want to speak. So as I mentioned, behind tab 3, you do have a copy of the policy, and we would ask that you guys review that. But this is your board. You guys can decide what the policy is, so we're free to make any changes, but I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
If you're looking for the policy, you'll see behind tab 3, there's a red flag, and
What is the, you said 20 minutes, is that per issue or is that?
It is 20 minutes total. So essentially what the new law requires is that if someone wants to make public comment, it has to be on an issue that's on the actual agenda. But the 20 minutes is for any matter that comes before the board at that particular meeting.
And just to be clear, is it an issue that's on the agenda, or does it have to be an action item?
Actually, that's good clarification. It is an action item.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Do they notify the sports authority that they're aiming to come to speak publicly?
So the way the policy is drafted now, we've asked that they give at least 48 hours notice prior to the meeting that they want to give. 48, yes.
So somebody has to sign up 48 hours ahead of time?
Correct.
And if they don't sign up, are they precluded?
Under the policy, yes. And the statute does allow for that.
And we're not required to provide answers to their...
No, you're only required to listen to them. You don't have to provide any answers or respond.
Thank you.
Josh, is the 48 hours just 48 hours from the meeting, or is that business days, or how does that work with weekends? Or I know we typically work on.
Actually, we made a change after the executive committee meeting, and we initially said 2 business days. And I believe it says just now straight 48 hours.
Is the 48 hours, is that come from somewhere else, or is that normally something?
That is a number that we came up with, so you're free to change it if you want to extend that or make it less. But that was just our recommendation.
Originally, it was 2 days, and the executive committee was not comfortable with that because it could be 8 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night, and they got 26 hours in versus 48 hours. So that's 2 days. So we wanted to be very clear on the timeline so that we have opportunity to know what's coming down the pipe.
When we testified at the State House on behalf of the Sports Authority, we had to provide them a 3-day notice by email before we showed up there, or we could not talk. 3 days.
When I was on the, I may have said this to someone, when I was on the MTA board, every meeting had a public comment period. As a board member, I don't know what to sign up. I don't think there was a time, but I found it very, very helpful, very informative. And we had that every meeting. We set amount of time. It was 2 or 3 minutes. I don't remember per person. They signed up when they got there. It wasn't unwieldy. I didn't think as a board member, but I got a lot out of it. I mean, people who rode the bus every day were there. They made the point. I mean, most of them took the bus to the meeting. It was very informative. And you really got a good viewpoint from, both a citizen, a taxpayer, a user standpoint. And a lot of our decisions were able to be seen from the public's input. So I commend the public comment period. I find it very helpful.
I think Councilman Withers would be an in-house expert about public hearing council meetings.
Any other questions or comments for Josh? If not, thank you for that update. And so we're required to entertain a motion to approve a resolution approving and adopting a policy related to public comment period required at meetings of the Sports Authority by the Tennessee Open Meetings Act. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. So next we'll hear from our Vice Chair and Finance Chair, Frank Harrison.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Finance Committee did meet prior to this meeting this morning at 9 o'clock, and we did have a full agenda. We approved the March 28th meeting minutes and made several recommendations. Also, Kyle Clayton presented the 2023 SEC tournament invoice and power management request for reimbursement for expenses related to labor and decor and hospitality. The total reimbursement request is $918,613. Monica, do you have any additional comments on that?
There's really not much more to add. The Sports Authority entered into this agreement with Powers Management and the Convention and Visitors Corporation and the Nashville Sports Council back in 2018, and it does provide for the reimbursement of these expenses related to the SEC tournament. And so staff received the invoice from Powers Management, did a line-by-line review, looked at all of the backup documentation, and we're comfortable that this is the amount that needs to be reimbursed. The reimbursement of these expenses, as we discussed in the Finance Committee, will be paid from Sports Authority's allocation from the arena account. I think we recommend approval.
Yes, Madam Chair. Finance Committee does recommend approval.
Thank you. So we have a recommendation from the Finance Committee, so I will entertain a motion to approve a resolution authorizing reimbursement of funds to Powers Management LLC for costs associated with hosting fiscal year 23 SEC basketball tournament.
Move for approval.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Please continue.
The Finance Committee also recommends approval for the use of funds for the arena revenue fund to pay the rating agencies invoices for the issuance of bonds for the new stadium. So we'd like to recommend approval of this.
Thank you. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the use of funds from the Arena Revenue Fund to pay rating agencies for preliminary and final ratings related to issuing bonds for the new East Bank Stadium.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Motion passes.
Also, additionally, the committee received a request from the Titans and the Piedmont Gas for temporary and permanent easement at the Nissan Stadium, which will allow and remove all existing utilities and lines and parking lot A and D so that the site can be cleared for the new stadium. The utilities will then be relocated to the west side of the stadium. Madam Chair, the Finance Committee recommends approval on this as well.
Thank you. So I will entertain a motion to approve a resolution authorizing and granting permanent and temporary easement to Piedmont Natural Gas Company Incorporated on a parcel of property that is owned by the Sports Authority.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay, and the motion carries.
Thank you. The Finance Committee also recommends approval for a resolution that would approve the reimbursement of $500 to the Sounds for the upgrades of the rain tree at First Horizon Park. Monica, you might have some details you want to fill in on that one.
So what I shared with the Finance Committee this morning, which is not new information, but the Sports Authority has several stormwater control measures at First Horizon Park. There's some permeable pavers, which you all are familiar with. There's a cistern. There is what is the name of that? It's up on top of the roof. The green roof, thank you. The green roof. And then there's this biodetention area, which we call the rain garden. And so it is our responsibility to maintain these stormwater control measures. And we're really thankful and appreciative that the Cumberland River Compact has volunteered to maintain that bioretention area free of cost. But we do need some plants. And so we are going to purchase some plants and reimburse the Sounds of graciously involved to take on half of that cost. So they actually will initiate the payment and we will reimburse them from our budget, which has the capacity to do so.
Motion for approval?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? So I will repeat the motion. The motion is to approve a resolution authorizing the reimbursement of MFP Baseball Incorporated for upgrades in the rain garden at First Horizon Park. It's been moved and properly seconded. Discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Motion carries.
Madam Chair, in addition to those recommendations, the Finance Committee heard a couple of presentations as well. The first presentation we heard was an update on the November water main break at the Bridgestone Arena. This spring, Metro engaged Disaster Recovery Solutions as an additional consultant on the claim. Their consultant, Brad Bullion gave the committee a status report, and this will provide a brief update to the board. Brad, you want to?
Thank you.
Sorry if I murdered your name there.
It's okay. It happens quite often. Hello, my name is Brad Bullion. I'm with Disaster Recovery Services, and I'm going to go through this presentation quickly for y'all. Anyway, DRS, real quick, we're a team of forensic accountants that specialize in insurance claims, FEMA claims, and I'm actually their project management, construction management practice lead. And so I've been brought in to kind of help with the scope alignment of this project. It's a quite a little bit of a complicated project because of the multiple layers of ownerships and leases, and then the fact that it's operating 24/7. And so just trying to help make this claim move along. Just to reiterate, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows this, but we had a 10-inch water main. The water main actually comes into the facility about 8 foot above the floor you're at now. So it had a 10-inch water pipe, ran in the building for 2 solid hours. It flooded even to the floors that we're here now. We had some water. And then it also went down to the event level. The level here we call the concourse level, and the level below where all the locker rooms and whatnot are the event level. As mentioned earlier, it's Category 1 water. So with Category 1 water, you are able to dry some things in place like carpet or drywall. And as long as you get it adequately dried and you can verify that the material behind the wall is also dried, it's okay to leave it in place. And so through this process, we're having a lot of discussion about what pieces need to come out, what pieces don't need to come out, and how we make this building safe. And so there's a lot of energy going towards getting a good scope alignment with Metro, with the Predators, and then also with Travelers, or just the insurance agent. And then also, since Predators own some of this material, there's another insurance agent, which is Zurich, I believe, that we're also having to work with. So it is quite complicated. Next. Just to go through this quickly, there's major components for tracking, one of which is the water pumps, which help circulate the water through the building. As you have events, you have a lot of water flow, and you need to help help the city water pressure. And it was that pump system was just completely inundated with water and materials from outside, rocks and whatnot, that created that thing unrepairable. So that's in the order of getting in place. You've got your electrical switch gear, camera systems, fire alarms, TVs. All of those items have been agreed to replace. We haven't or repair. We haven't agreed on cost yet, but those have been we do have alignment on that. Those are getting replaced, so we have good traction on that. The terrazzo floor on the concourse area here around the arena has some damage. It did have some damage pre-existing that some had been repaired, some had not. We feel like the floodwaters exacerbated that. We're waiting on a report back from the insurance agency, which we're supposed to get by the end of the week, so we can then work with the predators to make sure that we get scope alignment on that. And then the rest is what we're calling building repairs, which is where we're going to actually take up carpet or drywall and fix the building components that have not yet been replaced. Next slide, please. So if you'll look at the picture in front of you, that is a floor plan of what we call the event level, which is the base floor. Because this building is so large, and because of when I showed up in April where we were with scope alignment, we weren't there. We didn't have, the predators was wanting, not the predators weren't wanting, the predators were wanting the building fixed, rightfully so. But their view of what fixed looked like and what the insurance company's view of what fixed looked like, there was some disagreement there. And so we were working to bring them together. And since there's so much building, we wanted to focus on what area was most important for the Predators to get fixed before next hockey season. And they identified this area as home hockey, which is what you see highlighted, including coaches' offices and the weight room. And then also that little yellow piece off to the side is basically their command center for video operations during the hockey games. And so we've prioritized those. Those packages have been put out on the street as of yesterday. We're looking to get bids back in a couple weeks. We're hoping to start that work mid-July and finish before hockey season starts. Preseason hockey season starts on September 1st. The next slide will show us, and this is just some details of what we go through. If you can see the blue lines on there, that shows where each wall cut's going to be made. And this is quite a painstaking process to get agreement to make sure that we're taking out everything where we can see any potential damage and then identify if there's other damage that's not being seen to make sure that we render this building back whole, safe, and in good shape. So that's kind of the process that we're going through. The next slide will show you same thing, but just looking at flooring. So purple is where we're replacing rubber floor that's delaminated, and the blue areas we're replacing carpet in this area. So we're doing that throughout the whole building. I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what we're doing through this process and why it takes some time. The next step, so the yellow areas we've already addressed. The green and blue areas would be what would be included in future phases, which includes visitor hockey, the commissary area, restrooms, and I believe the president's room and the Lexus lounge, and then also some of the operation rooms below. And then the next slide shows the green areas, actually the area we're in right now. And what isn't highlighted here, but it's also part of the scope, is we have some areas around the concourse, especially the bathrooms that are going to need some attention that we plan to address in future phases of this. Predators have been great to work with, and just continue to work to make sure that we can get the building fixed, and we're trying to do it as quickly as possible, but to make sure that they can maintain operations during that process. Any questions?
Madam Chair, if I may, I would like to have maybe a 30-second summary of Sean, the entertainer's opinion of Brad's service. Just like to know how well he did for you.
It's been a while since I've talked to this esteemed group. Have you ever heard me speak for 30 seconds? Okay. It's been tremendous. It really has been. One of the key points that Brad pointed out was we're running every day. And one thing we're all really proud about is it would have been really easy in November to say, we're not playing, the next 2 months here. Let's shut the building down. Let's restore it. But because of the cooperation of Metro, our partners, we got through it by not missing a game. We rescheduled, 2 games, but we made it all up. Didn't miss one event. And I think it's tremendous. But it made it much more complicated what we're trying to do and when we're doing it. Maybe a hair more expensive in certain areas, but the work's incredible. So I just want to say thank you, to you and your whole team. Appreciate it. A little more than 30 seconds.
Thank you.
But I'll be back to talk about it.
Any other questions for me?
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, as I stated before, we had two presentations. The second presentation was the Fairground Speedway proposal. Jeff Oldham and Ben Eagles walked us through those presentations. And do you need them to come up and comment about that or do?
I think we're good. I think we left that with probably having some work sessions over the next week. I would say you'll hear from Monica and the team, and we'll dig deeper into that. But I think we're good.
Okay. Well, then that concludes my agenda.
Great. As you can see, there were a number of action items from the Finance Committee this morning, so I just like to applaud you all for the work that you do. I know it looks like everything's easy and seamless when we get to this place, but a lot of the work's been done. They've been here since 9 o'clock this morning. And I'd also like to thank all of you directors who do not serve on the Finance Committee who invest time in learning during those sessions. So great job. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have our bond counsel, Jeff Oldham, and don't know if Lillian Blackshear is here from Asbury and Sims or not. But they're going to give us next steps and timeline on the stadium project and what is required before bonds can be issued.
Morning.
Morning.
Jeff Oldham, Asbury and Sims. And so we thought, your executive director is good about saying, make sure, we're in the loop at every turn. This board's in the loop at every turn. And so what we are anticipating is that your next regular meeting, which is July 20th, I believe, we would be in front of you with a bond resolution and exhibits. And that, everything that I'm going to say today, and that just sort of flows directly, there's sort of a roadmap in the development agreement that you guys approved, the council approved back in April. And so that's what's going to be happening in July. And I sort of wanted to walk through, as much, we don't have documents ready to present for you today, but I wanted to give you as much of the timeline of what's going on between now and the next meeting and from then on, so that you're just armed to, take this up July 20th with the best information you've got. So there you go. So two main tasks. I hope nothing I'm saying is a surprise. I sort of think of this deal as there are transaction documents, the development agreement, the stadium lease, the amendment to the existing lease, all of that stuff. And then there is going to be an approval of the bond issue. That's yet to come. Those are the two main things we've got to do. So the schedule sort of breaks down things that happen before the next meeting and then things that happen after that. So I just wanted to walk you through those. Between now and the next meeting, we're going to do a handful of things. Don't want you to be surprised at all. The concept of balloon debt was mentioned somewhere along the way. I think Lillian did a good job of describing it, and it basically is, under Tennessee law, any debt that extends more than 31 years from the issue date or doesn't have perfectly level debt service. In order for you to authorize the issuance of balloon debt, state law requires that you send a plan, basically a finance plan, into the state comptroller's office. They report back to you, and once they've reported, then you can take up the bond resolution for consideration. So between now and next month, that balloon debt plan is going to be filed with the comptroller under your policy, and this is sort of Tennessee law too. It will be posted on your website, and we didn't want you to, what's on the website. We didn't hear about that. So that's going to be there. It doesn't obligate you to do anything on July 20th, but it gives you the option then to take up the bond resolution on the 20th. That'll be happening. I think we expect to receive preliminary credit ratings, and I put a footnote maybe on the bottom of this slide. I'm on the wrong slide. Sure. Yeah. I'm too ahead. Way ahead. Not real well. There we go. So the footnote at the bottom of this slide is nothing that we do between now and July 20th obligates you to do anything on July 20th. You get to take up the bond resolution like you would any other piece of action. We get full consideration. We expect to receive preliminary credit ratings on the bonds, so you'll have that information in front of you. There's likely that the underwriters may have made a preliminary deal announcement. Again, doesn't obligate you to do anything, but it keeps us on time. And then one thing we are continuing to do, and this is in the development agreement too, is coordinating with the state on a weekly basis because they've got to issue $500 million of bonds to make their contribution to the project. They're doing that as a condition to our issuing the bonds. So we're working with them. They have been on that issue. They have been very helpful. It's clear that they're motivated to get this done on time. So that's what's happening on between now and the next meeting. At your next meeting, no surprise, you're going to get a bond resolution. And then attached to the bond resolution will be a series of exhibits, all of which were sort of described in some form or fashion in what you've seen so far. Indentures, which are basically the loan agreement between you and bondholders, and are the sort of the mechanism for holding the funds, the project funds, and the other monies that provide for the payment of bonds. There'll be a bond purchase agreement between you and the underwriting group. There will be a preliminary official statement that sort of the marketing document. You'll see that. There will be a construction funds trust agreement, which is the agreement that combines when money is ready to be spent, when the GMP has been delivered. It's the sort of mechanism to bring the state money in, the team's money in, our money in, the PSL money in, all to fund project costs. Handful of other exhibits. There's a PSL administration agreement. I don't know if you remember the PSL agreement that you approved back in April had sort of two options for how the team might handle PSLs. We thought at the time, and it turned out to be the case, that they have elected the option where they actually basically purchase the PSL rights from the board, and then they are then responsible with them for them and the selling of them. And so the PSL administration agreement will memorialize that they have selected that option. And sort of handle a bunch of stuff on their side of how they have to handle the sales and where the dollars come in. From your perspective, it's nice because you get the money and you're done. You're out of the business. Could be I've got guaranteed investment contract. I think that's probably not right anymore. We are, the idea is not that we would borrow and put $760 million in on day one. We're going to rely. You're familiar with short-term interest rates, pretty high right now. And so we can deposit less than 760, but invest the project funds so that those investment earnings, along with the initial deposit, get to 760. So we're going to take advantage of that. It allows us to issue, fewer bonds, less debt service, good for everybody. And then last, the thing that'll be attached is this balloon debt approval from the comptroller, which I mentioned. So from there, again, this is all sort of road mapped out in the development agreement. Subject to your approval, bonds would then be marketed, sold, those project fund investments priced. All of the stadium documents would be executed. The state would have come in with their $500 million, all the things that we talked about. That will happen then in the weeks following July 20th, should this board decide to convene and move forward. One of the things you may remember, one of the things you got it? Go back one maybe? Actually, maybe go forward one. Well, we'll go with it. So one of the things you may remember in section 3.3 is there's a whole bunch of stuff that's got to be just conditions that have to be satisfied. Some of them fall in your camp. The board has to, the team has to bring a current budget to this board for approval. That needs to happen. The team has to bring a list of project team members to you. That needs to happen. That will happen. There are things then that your executive director, the legal folks, the financial advisory, NFL advisory folks have to do to make sure that the design and pre-construction process is far enough along, that the team's financing is in place, all of those sorts of things. So we will be working on all of that to all of that to make sure that those conditions happen and that we can bring to, I guess, to you when it comes time to sign documents, which, as you can imagine, the bond resolution will delegate to the chair and the other officers to sign documents that we can sort of bring you proof positive that all those conditions have been satisfied. Some money, again, this is straight from the development agreement. There will be your funds get deployed in a handful of ways. The team will be retiring your stadium bonds as part of this process. The team will be waiving the existing capital expense liability with Nissan Stadium. You will be using your money to take out about $8.2 million of Metro GO bonds. You will be restricting $5.9 million going forward, ultimately to go into the capital fund for Nissan Stadium as a down payment toward that limited reimbursement obligation of the team for CapEx. One of the things that may be in this resolution is, if you're going to restrict that money, is there a way that we could restrict it that sort of benefits bondholders in that interim period and gets you a lower rate? That may be part of the process. So there's money that's moving. And then after the bonds are issued, again, this is straight from the development agreement. Your money and the state's money will sit until the guaranteed max price contract has come in and everything is buttoned up and final. And that has to happen by October 1 of 24. Our expectation, ask the team, I think they expect sometime in middle of 24 that that'll be ready. Once that's done, that's proved out, then funds can be reached. So that's the structure. I hope it all sounded familiar. It's what we've been talking about now. Happy to answer any questions. If not, expect a group of people here next month and a batch of documents in advance.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. Any question?
Clarification. Yeah. I heard you say, I was looking on the screen and it said $8.2 million, retiring $8.2 million of GO bonds, right? That's right. Then I heard you say issuing $8 million of GO bonds. Sorry, I said that. Did I misspoke or did I? No, I may have misspoke. So right. Metro back in 96 issued roughly $75 million of GO bonds by the land. Sure. Part of what's happening is part of this deal is you're taking $8.2 million of your funds, writing the check to Metro so that Metro can pay off those bonds, and that's done. Okay. So it's a retirement. There's no issuance of GO bonds. No. Okay. Cash.
Any other questions?
Madam Chair, one question. Define project budget.
The stadium project budget. And so it is the sort of, the four corners of the building itself, together with the site prep and that utility relocation required to get the thing up.
What's the $2.1 billion? What is that?
I think roughly speaking, when we talk about the project budget, that's it.
Okay. I was just wondering if it might increase.
That you'd have to ask the team.
I understand.
Other questions? Comments? Jeff, as always, we appreciate the information you bring, and I'm sure for the authority it's a lot. So we are grateful to have you and Metro Finance and Metro Legal to walk us through this process. So
appreciate your time.
Thank you. So at each of our meetings, we try to allot some time for us to ask general questions from the floor of our facility managers, teams, executives. Any questions or comments about anything that's going on with our partners right now?
I have a quick question. Would the sounds give us just a quick update on Savannah Bananas? I think we missed that, and that was all the rage last meeting. All that town.
Yeah, it was an incredibly busy and successful 2 days at First Horizon Park. Complete sellouts, both games. They did everything from one of their pitchers driving our largest tractor in from the outfield when he was coming into the game to the song "She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy," and then parking it behind the pitching mound and pitching the inning, to eating pizza from fans in the stands, and it was a circus. We had a lot of fun with it. It was very successful, and They have a 700,000 person wait list nationwide, and we're hopeful that they'll come back next year. It's great exposure for Nashville. They really embraced the city when they were here, and they're really great with fans. So, yeah, it was awesome.
Thank you. I heard a lot of great things about it. So
Yeah.
sorry I missed it. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? If not, finally, we get to hear from the Predators and
How y'all doing? Good news is the Savannah Bananas are converting from an outdoor game to a wiffle ball league, and we're booking it here. So we like that 700,000 people. Good morning. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. And I'm a little embarrassed because somebody said I didn't know it was shorts day. It's always shorts day, by the way. You guys are just way overdressed. Like Barry Trotz said this morning, I always make him look overdressed, and he normally wears a golf shirt. But today's a fun day for us. It's a volunteer day. We're getting out there, 615 celebration. I think we have about 400 employees out and about doing some fun things, from packing medical supplies to mowing lawns to painting things and really just having fun. So that is why we're dressed down a little bit. If you want to join us, we have extra T-shirts for you and plenty of opportunity to get out. But today, I'm normally miserable after we get eliminated from the playoffs. When we don't make the playoffs, I'm much more miserable. And it's like for the whole offseason. But it's a weird period that we're in right now because, we haven't missed the playoffs in 9 years. And there's just this air of positivity throughout the community, something I've never seen before. And I got a chance to introduce the gentleman that I think is the reason that people are so positive about what's going on with this franchise. Since we first made the playoffs in the current run that we're in, we changed what we are and who we are and what our reach is and just how much people really, really do love the organization, engage with us on so many different fronts. And, it's going to come to an end at some point, a reset, if you will, and that's where we are right now. So, when Barry agreed to become our GM, we're running around the holidays. We knew he'd come in a little bit earlier, so we worked with David Poyle for a period of time. But I was almost worried about it because what we're going to do is trade some of our fans' favorite players. And I thought, my gosh, David Poyle's a genius. He's going to blame Barry, for getting rid of everyone's favorite players. But what we did was we took advantage of what we had, who we had, to really reset what our organization can be, for the next 5, 6, 8, 10 years. But the reason people are so excited about what we did and where we're going instead of being angry about it, miss the playoffs, is because Barry Trotz agreed to come back. And I'm really, really excited to be able to formally introduce Barry, the general manager, to this group as opposed to the coach. And he wasn't just any coach. Barry Trotz is one of the greatest coaches in the history of our game. I think he has the third most wins in the history of the NHL, over 900 wins, close to 2,000 games coached. When we realized what he wanted to do to kind of evolve his career, this was going to be the place he was going to do it. He and David Poyle worked together 40 years ago, maintained a great relationship. And when you look at all the good things that we're known for today in the community, our fan base, the entertainment value, Barry's fingerprints aren't just on it. He was the architect behind everything that we do. So I'm just so excited to be able to welcome back to Smashville. It's changed a little bit since he left, but it changed off the evolution that he set in place over 25 years ago. So I hope you're as excited as I am to meet or re-meet Barry Trotz, the general manager for our franchise. And here's over Chris.
Obviously, I've been on loan for about 9 years. I'm glad to be back home. I consider Nashville my home. I moved here in 1997 with 3 young kids, and thought I just wanted to get through the first year as a rookie head coach in a non-traditional market. With expansion being a little different back then than what you see now. And lo and behold, I was here about 17 years, and my kids grew up here. I've been here, and Nashville is home. I will say this: Nashville has a incredible vibe, especially. I was part of it growing, for the first number of years with the Predators. But what I've gone for 9 years and I come back, what an incredible vibe this city has. And that's a lot to do with the people in this room. It's a lot to do with the types of businesses that are moving in, the types of people that they have. And it's incredible. I've been in New York City, I've been in Washington, D.C., and I come back to Nashville, and it's twice as big as that I remember. It still has the vibrant stuff, but it still feels like home. It still feels like it has those small town values. It's incredible. And then going forward here, what we did at the draft, what I'm so excited about it, joining the Predators, is that we have a reset, and we moved on as Sean said, we had to make some real tough decisions, move on from some of our players, get into this reset mode. We're going into the draft. The draft is the showcase, the NHL awards. There's the NHL meetings. There's the coaches meetings. There is the NHL draft, which is one of the premier events in the National Hockey League, just as it is in the NFL. The whole hockey world is going to be looking at Nashville. And I think it's what I've learned of Nashville my whole time being here and being away from Nashville, really simply is no one does it better than Nashville. We are great at entertainment. We are great at hosting because of the people that live here. And we are an organized group. We really are. And I've been at a lot of places, seen a lot of different events, and Nashville always does it the best. The first draft here, I think, was in 2004. Might be wrong on that as I'm aging. I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. Scouts, the hockey world said it was one of the best drafts ever. That's 20 years ago. And now we get to host it again. And I know we're going to do a great job for our team going forward. We're going to have a young, exciting team. I asked our scouts to take swings. We want people out of their seats. We are in two things. We're in the winning business, and we're in the entertainment business. And so we are drafting young players I want to be faster, I want to be more skilled, and I want to win Stanley Cup here. I envision a big parade right down Broadway, as you saw just the other day in Vegas. There's nothing like it. I had the opportunity to do that in Washington and see over 1 million people in the mall area, and it's an incredible experience for the community, and that's my goal as a general manager. I asked everybody to be patient because we're in a little bit of a reset. We're drafting 19-year-old players, 18-year-old players actually, versus say in the NFL they're usually 22, 23. They're men, and we're actually drafting young men. And so it takes some time. So I am super happy to be back. It's incredible to see, and I forgot about the flood that we had. And the first thought when I saw the flood, when I was here, I thought, well, the building's getting shut down for 2 months. It shut down for 2 days. That's incredible. I don't think that would have happened in too many places. So what you do as all the people in this building, what the Predators do, the Titans do, all the sports teams do, we've got a vibrant city. And I have new eyes on the city, being away for 9 years, and it's incredible. I'm really, really happy to be back, and hopefully working with you so that we can, sort of plan that parade a few years from now. That's my goal. So thank you very much, and thank you for what you've done for the city. It's incredible.
I think Bill made me go so he didn't have to follow Barry. No one wants to follow Barry. And also, Sean is a Thunder Steeler because he took some of what I was going to say. So thank you, Sean. Just wanted to touch base on a few things. One, yes, our staff. It's a little quiet in our offices today. We have everybody out volunteering, which is always one of our favorite days. And if you follow us, I hope you do, at Preds Foundation, you'll see all of the different areas that we're impacting today. Want to highlight the Preds Foundation, our grant program. Our first year, 25 years ago, we gave out $50,000. Last month, we gave out $800,000. This was to 172 nonprofits. And although it sounds like a college graduation and a painful process, it's actually a fantastic event where we make all 172 show up. And they have to collect their check. If they don't come, we don't give you your money. So it's kind of a stipulation for receiving. And it's a room in the atrium of the most powerful people in Nashville making impact. And we force them to hand out business cards with who's sitting right, who's sitting to their left, who's sitting in front. And a year later, 2 years later, we hear about these partnerships that become about because of who they were sitting near in this meeting. And we call them up one by one. And it's a huge celebration. For those that don't know, the money we do distribute, we self-raise. And so we're almost giving away $3 million a year, but we have to put on events. And so we blood, sweat, and tears with all of our events to then distribute it to organizations that are doing great work in our community. The last thing I want to touch on is out of tragedy, some bright spots come about. And we had an amazing event in May. Covenant School reached out to the Nashville sports teams, the Tennessee Titans, Nashville SC, Memphis Grizzlies drove in, Vanderbilt was part of it. We were all at a school. The students had no idea, and we hosted their entire field day. Parents were on the phone calling their spouses. Parents were leaving to come back with their siblings, and to see these kids with joy and just having the best day. Surprised with professional athletes, activities. I've never met such a gracious group of parents and teachers that were appreciative, but humbled, but I don't know. It was a really sweet day. And the fact for all of Nashville to come together to provide this for the students. We do know that the Covenant recovery is 10, 15-year process. It's not over from this one field day. So we've told the school next year we're in, 5 years we're in. So we're excited to continue to partner with them and the students at the school. That is all I have. I'm not going to make you cry today. I'm not going to make you watch a video, but I do thank you for the opportunity to just highlight some of the things that we have going on currently.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Any questions?
Yes. I just wanted to say thank you for stopping there because you had me on the edge and just of tears. So thank you for your heart posture and for doing that work. As a parent, it does mean the world and it does not go unnoticed. So thank you.
Yeah, I'll be real brief. So again, we just want to thank you for everything you do, all your support all year long. Again, we've got a lot going on with the flood. The foundation does a great job. Barry's back in town. The team's got a lot of energy right now. There's just a lot going on here at Bridgestone Arena. We're just excited, but again, we couldn't do it without your help and support. So again, just want to thank you. And any questions? Happy to answer, or we can get Sean back up here and he can do whatever he does.
Questions or comments?
I've done a little inquiring. I had an invitation to go to the new event center in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I think maybe that came to the board through the Predators here, and we appreciate that. I used to live in Clarksville, so I look forward to going back to have a great event and an ice rink there. So thanks to the Predators for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a F&M Bank Arena up in Clarksville. It's a 6,000-seat arena. It's about to have its grand opening. I think it's July 15th. I think we extended everybody an invitation. We'd love to have you guys up there. We'll operate it much like we operate this building. The goal is to pack it full of events, and its tenant is the men's and women's basketball team for Austin Peay State University. So we're excited about that. It's about to open.
As always, we appreciate everything that you all are doing in the community, and we look forward to going through this reset with you, Barry. So welcome back. It's great to see you again. And so this concludes our agenda. I'd like to thank the members of the board, Sports Authority staff, Metro Legal, Metro Finance, our facility team representatives for your input today. Our next full board meeting is scheduled for July 20th at Nissan Stadium. The Finance Committee will meet again prior to that meeting. Really can't emphasize how important that meeting is going to be. We're going to have a lot of things going on, so your attendance is important. We will be considering the bond resolution and other related items to the stadium. And tentatively, the board will be asked to consider the Speedway deal. And so if you know that you are unable to attend that meeting, please let Monica and the staff know as soon as possible. We will began immediately trying to canvass this body to establish a work session date for the Speedway to bring everybody up to par before that meeting. And with that, if there are no final questions or comments, I'll consider a motion to adjourn.
Let's go, sir.
So moved. Thank you all. Have a great day.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.